Today we are going to be talking about making our own objects. You do this by defining a class. This is called object-oriented programming. So let's start by defining a car class to model a car and its behavior. Let's open the car.py file. Okay, as you can see, we have a class defined with the class keyword, and we've given it a name. And notice the name starts with a capital C. That is the Python naming convention for classes. You start with a capital, and if it's a multi-worded class, you would use capitals for every word. Okay, I'm going to use parse here because we haven't filled out our class yet. Right, now let's import our class and start using it. Okay, so here we have a car1 variable, and it's defined as a car object. Okay, I'm going to print it out. You can see it says a car object. Okay, so let's add some attributes or variables to our car object. Now you'll see the variables are now coming up in the menu for the IntelliSense. So we can pick them. Okay, so let's run that. Okay, you get 100 and blue. As you will agree, doing it this way is quite a tedious process, and you would not do it this way. What you would do is you would create a constructor inside the class. So let's go back to our class file. We're going to remove that pass, and we're going to create a constructor. Okay, so what is a constructor? A constructor is the method, a special method. As you can see, the way it's described, it's got two underscores in the front, the name in it for initialize, and then two underscores at the end. Now what this does is when you create an object, it calls the initialize constructor by default, and it will execute the code. In this case, I'm just taking the variables that are passed when you construct the object and assigning it to the variables for that class, for that object. Okay, so now we're going to create a new car object, and we're going to use the constructor. You'll see the name and the speed pop up in the IntelliSense now. Okay, so you will agree that this is a much better way of making variables or attributes for your class than having to do it this way. Okay, so now let's make our car object do something. You use methods to do this. Methods are just like functions. Let's create two functions, one for acceleration and one for braking for our car object. So we'll go back to the car file. Okay, so now I'm going to call those methods, and you will see they appear in the list. So you've got acceleration. Okay, so let's see what the car speed is now. And it should be 210. It was 200 when we created it. It's now 210. Okay, so now let's brake our car. Okay, so now we've called the brake method once. Here, we've called the brake method once, and the speed is now dropped by 5, and it's back to 205. Okay, so we're going to create one more method. We're going to create a display method that will display our values nicely for us, formatted the way we want it. Okay, and then we're going to go back to our main file and we're going to call it there. And then it will display the values for us. Okay, so the car's name is red and it's 205. Okay, as you can see, it ties up with the 2 accelerations, 1 brake, and the value is 205 at the end. Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It's the very basics of building a class with constructors and methods. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Have a great day. Cheers.